Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Eli Lilly and company. It is time for another update, and today we will be discussing about the relevant levels of support we need to hold within this area for us to continue to push still higher within this trend to the upside, which we have been tracking ever since even before we actually finished this initial movement to the upside, and we had the relevant areas of support we were looking at with high probabilities at this setup, at this overall, especially from a larger time frame, this overall trend. It was a highly regarded one, and I made that clearly in the previous videos. So now we want to discuss what else can we expect, what are the further actions to look for from this stock. Now on the larger time frame, we are overall tracking a very bullish and impulsive structure to the upside. This is my interpretation that this is a very strong and nice impulse that has formed, within which we basically have even a series of 1-2 setups in this area, and then even another 1-2 here, and then this would be a very large and extended third wave to the upside, within which we only just completed the actual first third wave to the upside fully, where this is the core wave 3, and now we are looking for series of 4-5 patterns to actually fill out the entire structure. But if you are looking here at the internal counts, you may notice that we actually need a very large amount of 4-5 patterns before we can actually even complete this larger wave 3, which is why we actually have a very high regard for this stock. It is simpler to track than most charts. It is within an impulse what we are tracking, and it is within a very bullish structure. Now internally within this movement to the upside, we have been tracking here the wave 4 correction, which has retraced perfectly to the 38.2% retracement, the ideal target for the wave 4, the $630 level. And from that point, we have started another impulse to the upside in a fifth wave. And this isn't even a small one. It does actually show quite a lot of bullishness within it as well, where in the previous videos, we have been looking here at firstly, we had here this small movement to the upside. We were looking for a potential 1-2, but rather for still continuation higher for a more clear 5-wave pattern, which we have gotten. We have pushed and formed a wave 1 up, and we were tracking this area of support for the correction in the wave 2. We haven't even managed to retrace deep at all. We basically just touched it, the 38.2% retracement, and already started the wave 3 to the upside. Now within this structure, what I am tracking is a larger 5-wave movement within this wave 3, in which we have basically formed a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and now we are in an internal wave 3, for which we can even add a count here. And within this wave 3, I am actually still looking for further extensions, where so far I would argue that we have completed most of it. We can probably argue that this is 1-2, 1-2, then possibly even another 1-2 setup here. No, actually we have formed a new low here. So we have here just the 1-2, but then this would be what I would consider the actual third wave to the upside. Now it is actually a bit more complicated here in the very short time frame. It is not the most clear impulse that has formed within this area, so I do have a bit of a question mark and a bit of worry, because it is on a much smaller time frame than what we were tracking from a larger time frame perspective. However, after forming this internal 1-2 setup, we can look for the ideal target for the wave 3, and we can see that we have already reached it. So from that perspective, we don't necessarily need to form any additional highs, but for us to get a full clear impulse within this structure, we actually do need to do that, because internally it's probably even easier to track this from a larger perspective, where I could argue that this is a 1-2-3, 4th, 5th, and then even another 4-5 here. So we may even need to consider that this third wave is complete. If we end up forming an additional high within it, it should be quite apparent, because within the wave 4 correction, the larger wave 4, we should see a more sustained movement, similar to what we have here in the wave 2, as opposed to a more direct continuation within the third wave. Now, we will be tracking the support area for the larger wave 4, but I am personally prepared to still see further continuations within this wave 3, where yeah, sure, it may be something like a 1, 2, 3, and then a fourth, and then a fifth, and then we would be looking for the larger wave 4, where this would have been the third wave top. Well, in that case, we might have a slightly adjusted area of support, but I think it is for the best to track the more generic, the more general area of support for the wave 4, which is between the $969 all the way down to the $900 level at the 50% retracement, where we additionally even have some more significant structural support that would allow us to continue in this trend to the upside. Now overall, even after we complete this wave 4 and the fifth wave to the upside, I would only really consider the larger third wave complete. Yeah, we would have a full count, a full 5-wave move within an impulse within the larger wave 3, but then I would actually still be looking for higher highs. Yeah, I would still be looking for another wave 4 correction and then another fifth wave to the upside. So in my opinion, there is still a lot of potential here on this chart, even in the near term, even in the short term, but it is also one to keep an eye out for on the larger time frame, because yeah, it does have the structure to back up the movements that are occurring. Yeah, this is no surprise that we have been pushing here in the fifth wave to the upside. I have been labeling this, and not labeling maybe, but praising this as a quite high probability chart to be tracking, because yeah, we were probably in the $700 area and we were looking for 50%, 60% potential to the upside. But for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.